Hello everybody, my name is Lydia, and I thought, what is more fun than a chatty little tag on BookTube? Nothing. Nothing's more fun. So I took it upon myself to design my own tag, somewhat because I thought, oh, that would be fun to make one, and then also somewhat because I was like, half of these tags don't apply to me. So this is a selfish tag where I need to be able to answer these questions. So I am calling this the Obsessive Mood Reader Mid-Year Check-In Tag. An extremely long mouthful. We can abbreviate that, right? Like the Obsessive Mood Reader Tag or the OMR Check-In. I don't know how we're gonna do it. Whatever I decide on, I'm going to put in the description or the title of this video. The Obsessive Mood Reader Check-In Tag. That's what I'm calling this because that just describes my reading habits. Like, I'm a mood reader and I'm also like an obsessive reader. So like I will like read a book and then I'm like, I want 7 more of that. So, I mean, it's terrible. It's like trying to get down my TBR because I'm like, I need to buy 5 more books that are just like this thing that I just read. Whether it's like the setting or the vibe or something I'm learning about. So here we go. Let's just go down this list, all right? Question number 1. What books are you currently in the mood for? Well, we all know, us obsessive mood readers all know that this can change any given day or week, and it will definitely change with the season. So, at this point, I am in the mood for 3 kinds of books. Classics. I've kind of been in the mood for classics all year. I got a couple ones that I purchased that I'm really excited about. I think there's like a misconception about classics that like they're a genre and they're all the same. And really, they're just old books. They're old books that have stood the test of time. So they could be about any subject matter, and they could be any kind of writing style, and they could be any genre. But there's a few that I have purchased recently and in the past that I'm really looking forward to reading. So I've been kind of proud of myself for getting through a few of those, but I'm still in the mood for that, which is good. The other thing I'm in the mood for is it's summer. You can't tell because my blinds are closed, but it is summer. And in summer, I always kind of want to read like middle grade books. You know, it's like that summer vacation a mentality where it's like, I just want to read books about, you know, kids having fun and going on adventures. And so I have some middle grade that I purchased. But yeah, I keep talking about books that I purchased, and I know I uploaded it recently, but I filmed it at the beginning of the year about how I wasn't going to buy books this year, and quarantine has changed a bit of that. Like, I'm still pretty proud of myself, but I have definitely purchased some books this year, so maybe we'll do a haul. So, classics, summer-themed middle grade, and the other one is Native American own voices books. For a long time I was having trouble finding them. I was like, where are they? And then I'd find some, but they were written, you know, by white people, and I was like, I want history and story. I really love like historical autobiography. And I read, no, I can't think of it. American Indian Stories. I bought that on my birthday last year, which is at the end of the year, and I read it early in the year and I loved it. And I think that's kind of what, I mean, I'm always kind of in the mood for this, but that really kind of re-triggered it. Like, I want more of this. And then I've kind of been searching and searching. And just recently I found a bunch of things. I was just kind of digging through Amazon and looking at the recommendeds based off of that and going deeper and deeper. I found a couple things recommended by Books and Lala, and I also found a book list that had a lot of the ones I had already found, but also a few extras. So I'm going to be ready. I'm stopping myself from buying all of them at once at this point, but I might have to buy one because I'm really in the mood for that. So yes, Native American or, you know, Indigenous own voices books, classics, and summer-themed middle grade. All right. I'm like, we're like 5 minutes in. I answered one question. Question number 2. What wild tangents have you gone down this year? So far, gardening. I decided to garden this year, and I decided out of like January, and I live in the Midwest, northern Midwest. So like there is a limited window for gardening. So you kind of got to start things really early in your house when it's still, freezing outside. So I've read a bunch of gardening books. I just tons of them, honestly. I think I've read at least 3 or 4 or 5. So that's a tangent that I've been down. The next one is like I mentioned in the first one, own voices, like classic historical biographies or autobiographies. I've really been enjoying those ones this year. I read the Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl. I've read American Indian Stories. I've read Two Old Women. I've read the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass. I think that's what it's called. I get that one confused with another different title, I think. And I think there might have been a couple other ones too, but I've been so enjoying that and interested in that this year. Just really helped flush out a broader picture, an understanding of history, honestly. So it's fantastic. The other one that the other wild tangent that I've gone down is classics. This kind of back even last year already, I was like, oh, that's right. Classics aren't just all boring and stuffy and the same. They could be whatever. You don't know. And so like I kind of went down this road of like going through a lot of classic books when I would see them in a bookstore and like reading the description and seeing if they interested me. And if they did actually interest me in their description, I'd pick them up. I have quite a few on Audible, so that's helped me get through some of them. And yeah, it's just been really a fun journey, a real fun journey. All right, question number 3. This one is probably specific to if you are like me and have trouble controlling your spending when it comes to books. But I guess it could apply to if you go to the library and, tend to grab more than you can read or whatever. But question number 3 is what kind of books have you chaotically stocked up on? Chaotically is a key word there. At least for me it is. For me, it was the recent ones have been more diverse children's books, and these aren't like middle grade or even late elementary. These are like board books. I mean, they're late elementary, middle grade as well, but there's so many recently published, just like adorable, fun, educational kids books out there, and I'm looking at them over there on my bookshelf. And so I kind of chaotically stocked up on more diverse children's books because I want to have them for when I would have children, or even like I know a lot of kids who are at the age of being able to read some of this stuff. I'd like to be able to lend them out if they would want them. Or I love reading kids books, so I tend to read a lot of them, and then I can recommend them to parents who maybe don't have as much time to preview books, kind of a thing. Where I'm like, well, this is a really good one. So I've purchased a lot of diverse children's books, and then Russian literature. Earlier this year, I read Anna Karenina. I listened to it on Audible, and it was so good. It was so much better than I thought it would be. The themes were so good. They're just so good, and like, I know a lot of people are like, don't watch the movie, read the book. That is very true for certain kinds of books. If you're in the first person and if your books are heavy on theme, it is very hard to translate into a movie because you're outside of somebody's head, and you kind of need plot to be the forward moving thing of a movie. So like, you can wrap themes into a movie, but if your book is mostly theme with very little plot, it's hard to make that a good movie, and it's hard to capture that in a movie. So Anna Karenina was so theme heavy, and you are in people's heads. It did a great job of having different points of view. It There's a multiple point of view, but you were like deep in their thoughts of these people who were like struggling with things and, you know, their point of view at the world and how it evolves throughout the book. Brilliantly done. More chapters on, you know, cows and Russian politics than I personally needed, but it's worth it. So worth it. I loved it, and because I loved it so much, I went on a complete bender and bought. I found. I know I'm going a lot of rabbit trails here, but please bear with me. I found, is it Everyman's Library or the Everyman Library? That publishing house. I found them. I found them this year, and they have the most beautiful collections and good collections and beautiful collections, beautiful books. And that's gotten me a couple times. Like, I have purchased more books than I should because I found them and I looked through their collections, and now my bank account's lighter. But I read Anna Karenina, and then I went, I want to read the Leo Tolstoy and Dostoevsky books, because my brother and a lot of people have really vouched for Dostoevsky. I hope I'm saying that correctly. His favorite book is The Brothers Karamazov, which I just started listening to as well. So I bought most of those two authors' books from Everyman Library, and I will probably show them off in another video, though I tend to be rabbit trailing, so I might not need another video. I just say everything I need to say in this video. So yes, anyway, to cut this answer short, Russian lit and diverse children books have been my chaotically stocked up on books of choice. Question number 4. What have your reading habits been like lately? I would say mine have been chaotic yet chill. Like, I feel like other years past I've been very much like, you have to read as much as possible, and like, kind of at this like frenzied pace. Which it's just been less of that lately. Like, I've tried really hard to get better at focus and having time in my life, you know, like building in time and just stressing out a lot less about trying to do as much as possible 24/7. So, I've gotten a little bit more chill with my reading. I've still read quite a few books, but I don't think I'm even up to 50, and I'm halfway through the year. Some weeks I don't listen to audiobooks at work, some weeks I do. And same with reading. Some weeks I don't read physical books at all, and then some weeks I'll get through like a couple. So it just depends, you know, with the flow of life. I've gotten a little bit better at just going with the flow of life. I have also got a hammock last Christmas, and I've been reading in that a lot outside on nice days, so that's been really nice. Question number 5, and the last question we have, which is good because this is getting very long. What is the one book that you still want to read this year, no matter what your mood is? You know, we all have these TBRs, we all have these books that we want to get to. We just want to get to them, and then our moods just take us all over the place, okay? They just distract us and lead us down different paths. But I do feel like most of us, even if we've embraced being a mood reader, have a couple books where we're like, I really want to get to that book. So what is the one book that you want to get to before the end of the year, or you're going to be upset with yourself? Mine is The Brothers Karamazov and the Bible. I have been listening to the audio Bible for a long time, and it's not that long. I mean, especially not in contrast to Russian literature books. Like, they're about the same length. So, I'm kind of sick of how lame I have been trucking through that, like, so slowly. So I want to get that one finished. I'm over halfway. I'm gonna get it finished before the end of the year. And as far as The Brothers Karamazov, I have started that already. So, it's so far, it really reminds me of Anna, and I think I'm gonna like it. So I'm I am determined. I'm determined to finish those 2 books, and they're both audiobooks, so that's helpful, before the end of the year. So yes, thank you for joining me. If you guys would like to do this tag, please do it. You are tagged. Just, I want to hear. I want to hear what you guys are all thinking. I'm so curious. So yes, please just do it. I'm going to list the questions below so that you don't have to listen to me yap on and on and on between these questions. Yeah, please do it, and please tag me in it so that I can watch your guys' answers. I'm so excited to see them. So have a wonderful day and a wonderful reading rush if you're participating in that later this coming week, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.